My goodness, we just hit a dozen. One, two. Curry, fired up, man. Excited. If you guys are checking us out, watching Two Dudes Talking, we appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, do us a favor, do yourself a favor, and smash that subscribe button somewhere on the screen over here, over there. Just hit that, hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content, shorts, and going live, and all that sort of good stuff. You'll be the first to know. It's a cool little feature that YouTube has. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here today, man. I'm I don't think, I've been as excited for a topic than today. And just to give you guys the, little, like, all of you can see all of this mess right here. This is like anytime I get an idea or Curry's like, "Hey, write this down." We just write down all these ideas and I cross them out once we actually do them. And we just have like idea after idea of different talking points for this podcast. And today, when to go full time. When do you make the decision that I'm making enough money in network marketing that I no longer need my job? What a topic. Curry, I don't even know where you want to start with this, but uh man, I don't know. When does someone say enough is enough? I'm ready, let's go do this.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I've been
Pump the
holding this back.
brakes.
Yeah, really. There's so many people that I have witnessed, and even myself. I jumped the gun.
Same.
Uh, yeah, but it's almost like you need to do it to experience the massive failure that it's going to happen to make you the person that is going to have success later on. Like
Uh-huh.
it's almost like when you do it, you have to almost expect, whatever happens is going to happen.
Yep.
And so it's like you don't want to ever tell somebody don't do it, but you also want people to
I would tell
understand
someone don't
that.
do it.
Well, now,
Depending on where they were at.
right now, but you get these people that made their first $1,000 and they're like, "Oh, that's it. This is it. I'm
Uh,
replacing my income. I'm out."
uh-huh.
It's my buddy Scott has warned me. Even with the amount of money that I'm making now, he's like, until you make X number, month after month after month,
Hmm.
consistently, and the reality is anything can still happen.
Oh, I got stories, but yes, my goodness.
This is going to be a story day.
Oh,
I feel like I
geez,
feel like we're going to have
man.
a story day.
I just feel like I should just have like a shit-eating grin from ear to ear throughout this whole video today. So
Oh,
I'll tell you one thing, like you mentioned, $1,000. Like when I was in my 20s, date myself here, this is, 20 plus years ago. When I was in my early 20s, I got involved in my first network marketing company. And at first, I was one of those people that came in for the product because the product was really cool. I came in for the product, and then it was after a little while, I started just kind of absorbing myself into the business. I started just kind of learning a little bit more. I said, you know what, this is something that I can do because I'm always down for more money, right? And then after like my first month or two, maybe I made like $400. And I kind of got in that just very quick entrepreneurial mindset that I can do this and I don't need my full-time job, which supplies me all of my income and my health insurance and all that other stuff. I'm going to drop out of this thing and I'm going to go do this new thing full time. And I'm going to go kill it. I'm going to kill it. And it took me about a month and a half to realize that like this is so much harder than I thought it was. And I'm literally getting nowhere. Nowhere. I've sponsored an average of 0 people per week. And of course at the time this was a very traditional network marketing opportunity where I was door to door, walking around malls, handing out business card, making your list of friends and family, calling, getting rejected left and right, hating my life. And I got to a point where I stretched my bank account, started dipping into my credit cards, racking up the charges, probably 25 grand in credit card bills later after about 6 months. And, my girlfriend at the time was writing me checks just to get some of my bills paid. Um, that was an incredible lesson on what not to do. It just, it's phenomenal. Like I learned, okay, next time, don't do that. Keep my job.
Yeah. Yeah. We all get that feeling like that. It's the concept of we preach time freedom, right? We all preach the concept that network marketing can build leverage to replace the frustrations that you currently have. And we want to use these programs to set people free. We talk about it endlessly that this is
Mhm.
what it can do.
That's the
That
dream, right?
it is the
The dream
dream.
we're selling.
It is, and and by the way, it's possible. It is truly possible.
Yeah.
It's working.
And
The
then
the problem,
you're over here,
yeah,
at
I'm
least for
sorry.
me, but on
Yeah.
the recording, you'll probably be over here.
So but the reality is most won't do it. Most
Yeah.
aren't going to do it. And when you start making a little bit of money, and this is one of the things that we struggle to set proper expectations in network marketing. We
Hmm.
everyone fails at this. Everyone. Don't think anybody should be good at this. Everyone fails at this. It's not easy up front. We
Hmm.
preach, hey, we're showing you something that anybody can do because we're doing it. Like
Yep.
the concept is duplicatable,
Yep.
but the reality is you have to build the leverage before
Yep.
money.
Yep.
Like, because if you go out and try to become the best salesperson, your efforts will die very, very quickly. You will burn out. You will run out of. You will think you've run out of people. You'll stop doing all the primary work, and that money dries up. Fast
Hmm.
start money always dries up. We watch
Yep.
this in this industry over and over and over again. It's why leaders hop from company to company to
Hmm.
company. They go from fast start to fast start to fast start because they can't build teams. It,
On that
what?
note, real quick, sorry to cut
Yeah.
you off, but on that note, real quick, I've had a couple of phenomenal, fast starters, meaning over the years, I've seen them. I'm thinking of two people, and they can plow in, 15, 20, sometimes as high as 50 or 60 sales a week. And both of the two people that I'm thinking about can do this. And they get to a point where I've seen it multiple times where they've gotten burnt out. And it's like, I'm just tired of like selling and having nobody else is duplicating. No one else is doing what I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, like you are unique. You are incredible at what you do, but you're getting burnt out because you have zero duplication.
And
So,
this is the standard. Don't believe this is the standard. The
yep.
vast majority will not build the team.
Hmm.
They won't put in simple systems of duplication. They overcomplicate. There's people that just don't know how to do the duplicative work. And you, as a person who is attempting to make a decision towards time freedom, have to look at your team. And this is where we're talking about this today. If you don't have automatic duplication below, let's say, fifth and sixth generation that is happening without you, that you have disappeared from your team,
Yeah.
and
You could
every
go away and
single
it would still
you could
happen.
go away and it's still duplicating. You can't even think about it yet. You can't even consider, no matter what amount of money. I don't care if you made six figures in a month.
Hmm.
If you don't have automatic duplication at levels 5, 6, 7, you can't think about. But once you get to 5, 6, 7 duplication that doesn't happen with you involved at all, that you have stepped out,
Hmm.
you can think about it. You can think
Yeah.
about, okay, look, this money ain't going to stop.
Yep.
You can't. Let me tell you, as Curry Russell, I have learned that I say some stuff that people just don't like. I
Same.
I go out on social media and I burn bridges. And let me tell you, I couldn't ruin my business if I wanted to at this point. You know what I mean? Like I could say anything and be disappeared, and my business is going to grow with or without me for the rest of until it doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
But it's every single one of us have to get to that point where you have created a business that finds passionate people who are running for their own passion, not for yours.
Hmm. True story. So, what I want to try to do throughout this episode here is I want to try to, and they're going to come in all shapes and sizes. They're going to come in left, right, center, off center, whatever. Little nuggets that you guys can take to maybe like make some mental notes or some written notes of like when to go actually do this. So, maybe in your business or whatever it is, maybe you're getting close, maybe you're not even close, maybe you're there and you don't realize it. But Curry, to your first point of, if you're not getting duplication down on certain levels, might not be a good time to jump. I can think of so many different ways to attack this, but for me, like on a personal note, I would say also do not go full time until you are debt free. Meaning, like, even if your income, like, we'll just pick a target number. Let's say you're making $5,000 a month in your job, 60K a year, decent average salary out there, right? I think. I don't even know. I haven't worked a job in a while, but I'm just saying, you know, 60K a year, you're making about 5 grand a month, right? And let's say you in your network marketing business, now you're making 5 grand a month. You're like, okay, cool, I'm free. I can do this. But like you still have a car loan, you still have credit card debt, you still have, all this stuff going on. I wouldn't even think about jumping until, maybe take your network marketing income and start hammering away at your debt. So that way, at some point, when you do decide to jump and go full time network marketing, like you're clean, you're good. Maybe not necessarily a mortgage, like that's always good to have, but you know, like you don't want to be $25,000 in credit card debt and then go full time. And then, now instead of having two incomes, now you only have one. Not the smartest decision. So that's that would be my approach to it. If I were to do it all over again, I would have, when I've tried to do it before, I've had debt. I would do it 100% with zero debt. So you're starting clean. Curry, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
It totally makes sense to me. My mentor told me that I shouldn't quit until I create assets that replace my network marketing income.
yeah,
So
good
I
point.
have additional streams that are coming in even above any other thing. So whatever it is, if you're making 10,000 a month, you find a way to make an additional 10,000 in assets,
Hmm.
which will take time. But you have to come to a so can I tell a real story, like a real story?
I only if it's real.
Yeah, right. So just 6 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, I actually, and for those of you who've been paying attention and know who I am, I actually still have a career. I enjoy my career. I wake up every day. I live my life and do the things that I want, and I get paid for my information now. And so I had a conversation with my boss recently, and I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to work here. And I said, I don't need to work here. I make enough money to pay my debts, my bills, my living, and live as well as I want to live. And he stopped me and he said something that I found to be hilarious that a boss would tell you.
Hmm.
And he said, do you wake up happy every day? And I said, yeah, every day. And he goes, well, if you're happy, don't change anything. He
Hmm.
said, if you're making money, extra money, and you're not unhappy, then let's work on you when you're unhappy. Let's figure out why you're unhappy and fix that. He goes, but until then, he goes, why change anything?
Hmm.
So So when you're looking at jumping,
What a logical conversation.
dude, let me tell you, it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened in my conversations with a human being. Like a
Mm,
person who doesn't just go, yeah, you should jump, or you should, you know what? Because and most bosses today would be like, oh, you're making that much on the side. Well, we don't need you anymore.
yeah,
And
let's free up some payroll.
that's free. That's right. No, no. If you wake up happy and you have no stresses in life, you got extra, you're going on vacation when you want to go on vacation, you're doing the things you want to do, you have the things you want to have, don't screw up happy. But when you are
Write that
unhappy,
down. Don't
right?
screw up happy.
Don't screw up happy. But if you're unhappy and you have a little extra, you know, maybe figure out what it is that's really making you unhappy. If maybe
Hmm.
it's just a moment in time, maybe it's and don't rush into a terrible situation
Hmm.
because well, I love the Steve Harvey jump video is one of the most real conversations. If you've not watched Steve Harvey jump, it is one of the most real conversations a person can have. And he talks about when you decide to jump, and everybody has to come to a point where they decide,
Hmm.
and you decide to jump. You're going to bounce off those cliff walls. You're going to jump, and you're not going to just have this easy sailing life. It's going to be a disaster for a period of time. And by the way, and I've been talking about this a lot. It's supposed to.
Yeah,
Like, it's not supposed to be easy.
because you're gonna
It,
learn stuff.
man, when you figure out that you're supposed to suck at everything and you're supposed to go through it and you're
Hmm.
supposed to develop, you just fall in love with it. I mean, it's my son, and I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, Dan.
All good. All
My
good.
son is in his first year of playing football, and
Hmm.
he's been in all these day-to-day practices. And he comes home, and I thought for sure he was going to quit. I thought for sure this kid who just plays video games doesn't have any activity in his life, and he goes to football practice and he's running, and he comes home from the first practice loving it. And I'm like, who are you? Like, who are you?
Hmm.
And the next practice, Dad, look at all these bruises. Look at these bruises I got, Dad. And
Really
now,
quick,
yesterday,
I was the opposite. I played Pop Warner football for all of two practices, and I quit because I hated it.
oh my gosh, my son is like having a blast. They're
Uh,
not even practicing with pads, and they're just running into each other, just
uh-huh.
beating each other up. And these kids, he comes home with bruises, and now yesterday he's like, Dad, feel it, feel it. I've been to the gym 6 times, feel it. Yeah, guys, my son has witnessed over the last 10 years his dad embracing the suck,
Yep.
teaching him to fail forward, teaching him it's going to suck a lot.
Great lessons.
When you've been through it, you can show people.
Yep.
That's we're telling you about jumping because we've been through it and we've been beat up and we've made it through certain pieces of it. So yeah, it's like you got to be aware
Hmm.
when you make the decision. It ain't going to be roses. It ain't.
No, I've told people so many times. I don't know how many trainings, especially when they're starting out and they're creating content, especially like when they're getting into video content. I tell people, listen, you are going to suck. I'm, I was total side note. I'm working on a side project. That has nothing to do with network marketing, but I'm able to go do that because of network marketing, if that makes sense. It's something that I've been passionate about and thinking about for a while, and I'm going to do that. And while I was doing that, I went back and I found my very first YouTube video ever 9 years ago, and I'm watching it just out of pure like whatever, pure entertainment. I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh my God, this is awful. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I was trying to be so salesy and like I was pitching this It was a network marketing opportunity. I was pitching this thing and I'm standing there with a flip chart. And, every time I would flip over, there would be like a 30-second pause where I'm gathering my thoughts. And I was like, who would watch this? I'm like, who in their right mind would watch this? But it's so funny to go back and you realize like how much when you first got started, how much you did suck. But it's like just doing it over and over and over and over again just teaches you how to get better and better and better. And it's, you gotta embrace that part of it. You gotta embrace that the fact that like you are gonna suck in the beginning. You are gonna fumble your words. You are gonna say the wrong thing. So go get that out of the way and like learn from it. Like please go learn from it. So man, juicy nuggets being thrown out. The other thing that kind of had swirling around in my head here, Curry, is the fact that like when you're thinking about, I like to really think about a good, solid financial foundation before you do this. So for me, be debt free before you do it. Also, when you're looking at your income levels, we'll go back to the 60,000 a year or $5,000 a month. If you're making 5 grand a month in your network marketing opportunity, minimum, I would say like when you can go full time, because a lot of people don't think of the consequences of going full time with your finances. Minimum, I would say you need to be making at least 30, if not 50% more in your network marketing opportunity than you do at your job. So if you're making $5,000 a month, at your job, you want to be making at least probably 8 grand, if not 10 grand a month in your network marketing opportunity. Because for many of you, once you don't have your job, there you go, your health benefits. When you're full time from home, you gotta, like me and so many others, you gotta now pay that out of pocket. Now, maybe you have a spouse, significant other, whatever. Maybe you're on their insurance. Maybe you have different types of insurance, whatever. But most people would fall into the bucket of now you have to pay insurance out of pocket. Health insurance, I don't know if anybody's aware, is not inexpensive. It will run you at least, depending on the size of your family, at least anywhere between $600 to $2,000 a month. So those are
Whether
significant.
you use it or not.
Those are significant. Yeah, whether you need it or not, those are significant additional costs that you're going to have. Again, unless you have the insurance thing figured out. So you want to pad that into, your income. And I remember for me, that was a big topic of conversation in our household, especially with our son, who was special needs and had, needed very top-notch health insurance. So for me, I remember the very first time I did this, we're probably talking 2018, give or take. And I was making at the time about $15,000 a month. But when we did the insurance thing for the three of us, I think it was $1,800 a month, and that was back then.
Right.
That was years ago. Probably maybe even twice that now. So for three family members, it was $1,800 a month for a good. I think it was Blue Cross and Blue Shield for a good quality health insurance. So it's like now it's like I got that, I got my mortgage, I got all our other bills, and we had debt, we had credit card debt and everything. So I probably could have waited a little bit longer, chipped down, gotten rid of that debt, and then maybe done it. But, you got to think about some of these additional costs that you're going to now start having. Now, granted, you're going to save some money in certain places. You're also going to, by maybe not commuting, if you're spending money in gas or, transportation or whatever it is to get to your job, parking, those sort of things, you might start saving some money. But, I would say, and now, Curry, what are your thoughts on dollar amount? How would you say, would you have it be, you know, 2 times, 1.5 times, 30% more? What would be your range of where you would want that dollar amount compared to your job?
I think for every single person, it's tough.
It
A
will
lot of
vary for
people,
sure, for sure.
and here's the. I don't think that there could be a real number, Dan. I don't. I wish that there was, but I think that across the board, we all come in with our level of income and debt, right? It's like,
Sure.
and the concept is residual income can buy back your debt to society. All
Hmm.
of us have a debt to society, whether it's taxes, whether it's mortgage, whatever it is that costs to live, that's your debt to society.
Hmm.
So whatever that number is. So if you've been living, and here's the painful statement that I'm going to make. If you've been living at $35,000 a year, you live at about $32,000 a year. That's your cost of living. Most
Yep.
humans live at about the amount of money that they make.
Hmm.
So if you make $50,000 a year, your debt to society is about $48,000 a year, $45,000 a year, because that's usually every time you get a raise, you're going to spend more money. Every single time you make more
So
money, you're
true.
going to spend more.
So true.
So, and
Mo
so
money equals mo problems.
if you make $100,000 a year, I guarantee you're living at $100,000 a year cost of living, paycheck
Uh-huh.
to paycheck. That's just the way it is. So you have to figure out what your debt to society is.
A,
Right,
a
right.
quick note on that, just something to think about. If you had millions of dollars, you would be living like a millionaire. You would not live like you made $32,000 a year. So just like
Not ever.
stretch it really far apart.
And it is, this is a guarantee. This is not something, this is the way it works. There aren't
Mhm.
too many people on the planet that's living the Dave Ramsey lifestyle where you just ain't living up to where you have the money that you have. Most people are living day to day,
Except
paycheck to
Warren
paycheck.
Buffett. That guy
Yeah,
needs to buy
yeah,
a
well,
new
that
car.
dude is ridiculous. Listen, he's still living in his house, first house he bought, still eating
Uh-huh.
McDonald's every morning. That dude
Yeah.
is not living.
He's driving like a 1990 Crown Vic.
Yeah, dude's worth like $100 billion
Yep.
and lives like he makes 27,000 a month.
Uh-huh.
Just nothing. So you have to do the math. So forget our, by the way, we should have started this whole thing with some advice that we're not financial advisors and we don't have whatever that
I'll
disclaimer
I'll
is.
put it
We're
on the
not,
screen. Like
yeah, we ain't,
we are not
we.
CPAs.
We're idiots, by the way. We just regular guys having a
Yep.
conversation about trying to help people not make mistakes that we've had. That's the disclaimer
We've
right there.
experienced some things. We're sharing
We've
some things.
yeah, that's right. We know what's that? What's that Allstate commercial? Is that we know some things because we've seen some things. That's but yeah.
Might
So
not be an
no,
expert, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
that's right. Well, listen, that's my hotel of choice. I got over 1 million points with them. So yeah, it's my. I might be an expert. I don't know, but guys, know your cost of living. Whatever your debt to society is, your cost of living, whatever that is, you
Hmm.
have to figure that out. Then you need to know when you quit your job, there's going to be additional things that you didn't even think about. You didn't
Hmm.
even, something just like the insurance, just
Yep.
like taxes, just like whatever. You got to be aware something's going to happen
Yeah.
and you need to be aware of it. So if you know something's going to happen, have 6 to 12 months of income that would replace your cost of living. So if it costs you $5,000 a month to live, you have 12 months. You have an additional 60,000
Hmm.
in cash in liquid assets that you can use at any time, sitting there available. And I wouldn't even consider jumping until I had a safety net
Hmm.
for the wall, for those bumps and bruises, for the frustrations. And once that's sitting there, then I'd still question it at this point. It's like, it'd be like,
Yeah.
well, and then it's, am I happy? What's causing my frustration? It's like, I like having extra income on top of extra income. I ain't.
Yeah. Again, just to kind of frame a mind here, but not even just frame of mind. Let me start with a bold statement first, then the frame of mind. Like know your numbers. Like Curry just said, like, your cost of living and all those things, like know your numbers. For me, I literally have to this day, I still have spreadsheets that I keep and update where here's all my personal expenses, here's all my business expenses, here's how much I'm making, here's what's available. Like I like hard black and white numbers. Don't think, don't assume, don't guess. Like know your numbers. It's critically important. Now, the second half of that is more of just kind of like a mindset, a concept here. Like once you do go full time, do not live like you are on vacation. Meaning, like now that like it's going to be a different feeling. I'm telling you right now, like the first time, and this it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to wake up and not have to commute. It's a beautiful thing to wake up without an alarm clock. It's a beautiful thing to get out of bed when you want, when all your friends and all your family and everybody around you is at their job. And you're like, wow, I don't have to go to a job anymore. Like it's a cool feeling. But I'm going to tell you, don't fall into that trap of living like you're on vacation, being like, all right, let's go out for breakfast. Let's go out for lunch. Let's go out for dinner. Let's start racking up, these expenses. Like you still need to treat this like a job. So for me, like I set my alarm this morning for 6:30 every Monday through Friday when I'm here at my desk and I'm working my business or my job, whatever you want to call it. My network marketing business is my job. I set an alarm. I get up. I get at my desk at the latest by 7. I'm here. I'm treating it just like a job. It is not a vacation. I don't just like, now granted, there's some cool lifestyle perks like, Curry gets to go up and travel and go wherever he wants when he wants to go there. I get to go golfing whenever I want to go there. Like I'm going golfing again this Thursday. It's like I could schedule these things. I could do these things because I have the freedom to do that. But on the other days, I'm still showing up, working, treating this like a job because, don't lose sight of that. It's not once you go full time, once you step away from your job, it's Party City because again, that's going to come back and there's going to be some, that's going to catch up to you really, really quickly.
Same as retirement, right? Like when people get to their 60s and they
True
haven't
story.
built
Yep.
up much of a savings, they don't have their 401ks in place, they didn't do anything early in life, and then all of a sudden they get to a level of retirement, their job kicks them out, they get reach 65, 67, and then they go, well, what do we do now? And then they start living differently than they were. And it's like now at 73, they've got to go work at Walmart again. You know what I mean? They got to go be the greeter at Walmart because they didn't prepare for that hard time, like when it
Yeah.
wasn't going to be easy. So, some of us, like I would love if we could figure out a great way, and I haven't figured it out, but it's like you could teach kids right now in high school coming out of 18 years old that by the time you're 28 in a network marketing thing on the side of a job, you could be free before 30. You could literally be free if you wanted to be.
Hmm.
And but you can't, going into your 30s, you're going to want more toys and want more play stuff. And it's like you got to have that mental awareness of what
Hmm.
you like, things that you're going to screw up with. Man, I'm so glad that I haven't seen in years. I haven't seen probably since OSP anybody really professing the jets and cars and the lifestyle videos. I don't see that anymore. I don't see it hardly ever. Anybody promoting that noise that would destroy everybody. Like what? It's like that's not really
I can think
reasonable.
of a few marketers out there that are still in, my social sphere that market that way.
Really,
Yep.
dude. I don't even like that's. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be real honest, and this is weird.
Weird that you're
Anybody that
honest? No.
yeah, well, anybody that approaches me on money, like, hey, you could be making so much more if you would come over to this thing with this compensation plan and this, you could, and I'll be like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm here for. Like I've never been. I can't. I grew up poor. I literally grew up. I've never had the mindset of private jets and fancy cars. And it's like That's not what I'm chasing.
Mhm.
I'm chasing simplicity. I'm chasing easy. And it's like, y'all make that look hard. I don't want to do that. I don't,
Well,
man,
yeah, it's yeah, yeah.
dude,
So,
I wake up. Do you know, you talk about you get up at 6 o'clock and you set an alarm. I haven't set an alarm for anything, and I have a career. I have a career. Don't get me wrong.
mhm.
I don't. I have the only time I set an alarm is if I got to be at an airport at like 6 o'clock in the morning. That's
Yeah.
the only time. But I wake up without an alarm at 6 a.m. every single day, no matter when I go to sleep. I get up at 6 a.m. And here's the goofiest crap about my life. If I'm not going on vacation, I wake up at 6 a.m. and I go lay on my couch. And I lay on my couch till about 10 a.m. 4 hours of creating content on my phone, playing, working my business, messaging people. And then at 10 a.m., my battery's about 60%. So I get up and go from one couch to the other couch where my charger is every single day. Christy shows up in my life. I got the girlfriend who's just moved in 3 weeks ago, and she's like, "Did you just get up from one couch and go to the other couch?" And I was like, "Yep." And this is what I do every day. This is my
That's my
day to day
routine.
job. This is it. Like, y'all, when you have time freedom and you can do what you want to do, don't ask me to do nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I
I
am
think.
living what I want to do, and this is how I do it.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we all have our quirks, our ways of doing things. I have mine, and to be 1,000% honest with you, I set an alarm as a just in case. As soon as I notice whether I'm asleep or not, as soon as the light
Yep.
comes,
Yeah.
even just a little bit light out, I'm awake. I'm awake. And
I have blackout curtains, and I see that light through the bottom of the thing, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
it's
I
time.
have room darkening curtains and I have blinds. Those wood plantation blinds, whatever you want to call them. Looking at them right now. But you know, most 99 out of 100 days, I could easily get up without an alarm. I don't need one. I like being up early. I like that quiet before the hustle and bustle of the day kicks in. And I like being up before other people. And there's a lot of theories and thoughts around that. I know Grant Cardone, if anyone follows him, he talks heavily about, he says, beat the sun up, get up before get out of bed before the sun comes up over the horizon. You do that, you're going to outwork most people. But, back on topic, there's so many things that you're not thinking about that you do need to think about. And I'm going to throw another nugget out there too. Before you go full time in network marketing, I would 100% lock down and have, speaking of, we're not CPAs, I would have a tax professional in your life that is 100% familiar with home based business. And I would also 100% never do your own taxes, because you're probably going to forget a lot of things. You're going to leave a lot of stuff on the table. You want to leave that stuff to trained professionals. My tax guy, who I miss greatly, although I found a fairly decent replacement down here in Myrtle Beach. My tax guy ran his business out of his home. So, like, we're not talking like, I'm not going to Jackson Hewitt, I'm not going to H&R Block, and I'm not seeing people that are wearing suits sitting in an office. Like, I'm working with a guy who runs his business out of his house and knows every single tax deduction available for home-based business owners. So there's also some ways that if you have a good solid tax professional, that you're going to be able to save and take advantage of certain things, because most people don't realize once you become a home-based business owner, you can qualify for up to 200 different tax deductions per year. And there's so many ways that you could take advantage of that. Now, if you go full time and you don't know anything about that stuff, at the end of the year, again, you're going to be like, oh, geez, like, have some of this stuff lined up ahead of time, please, because it can be the difference between, the end of the year, you get $7,000 back, or you end up owing money because now, again, food for thought. A lot of things that people don't think about. Most of the time, when you get paid from a network marketing company, you get a 1099. You're just getting a straight paycheck, no taxes taken out. So you have to go pay those taxes on your own. So, as an example, if you make $60,000, and this is why you should also be making at least 30, 40, 50% more than your job. If you make $60,000 in network marketing, well, what is the tax rate in your state area, wherever you live? How much taxes are you now going to owe based on that check that you got? Because that's going to creep up at the end of the year and hit you. So you need to think about that stuff. And having a great tax professional will help you avoid having to pay the maximum amount of taxes. Food for thought on that, Curry?
Also have a lot of expenses. Create marketing, be a bigger marketer and say, work on the cost of marketing. I love expenses. I don't mind paying for things because I'm going to be able to write it all off.
Yep. And you can write off a lot. I mean, perfect example is, again, we're not CPAs, we're not professional accountants here, tax professionals, but I'm going golfing this Thursday. While we're golfing, I will talk about my business. Talked about my business while I was golfing. That golf outing is now a tax deductible business expense.
I'm
You
going
could
to Cancun. I'm going to Cancun September 11th to the 17th, and I will see two of my team members and their members in Cancun for the whole time. And so we
business
will
trip
be business trip the whole trip to Cancun.
and
When
everything
I'm in
about that
Atlantic
business trip,
City,
flight, hotel, food, all of it.
when I go to Atlantic City next week, I will be seeing coworkers and business people, and I will be writing that trip off. So it is one business trip after another business trip that I'll be drinking my favorite drink, rum runners, frozen rum runners, man. I'm just going to be sitting poolside talking business.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be us in Aruba soon. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
when we can talk business and do it while you're sitting at an all-inclusive poolside bar, it's kind of a cool thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's just be
Yeah,
smart,
having your
guys.
taxes, yeah, making sure you have your tax professional in place is hardcore. Like, yeah, don't try to do this yourself. No, have somebody that knows all of your loopholes, knows all of the ways to save, keep your money your money. The rich spend their entire time being rich, trying to keep being rich and
Hmm.
not give away any money. And
Yeah.
so help get people who can help you stay building rich.
I thought I had the book over here. I have a book. I can't remember who wrote it. What is
Did
his
you
name?
ever get Grady's dad's book? I got it.
No, I don't think so.
He, he has a book literally on all the tax savings because he was an accountant. He was literally an accountant and he wrote all the home based business tax savings book. There's a guide. I got to find it.
I'll tell it's in the other room. Let me tell you, I'll look it up right now. What the heck's his name? Tax book.
Your watch is spinning. I see it spinning.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Wheelwright is the name of the guy. He wrote a book called Tax Free Wealth. Um, Tax Free Wealth. So something to think about. But the whole point is, guys, is just please, 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 please know your numbers. Know your numbers. And part of the reason that this topic even came up is I know I'm sure Curry, you've had some of these moments too. I've had these moments where there's people that will join me, they'll get started and they'll be maybe they're in between jobs or maybe they just hate their job, but they either quit their job or they're in between jobs and they're like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to run at this so hard and I'm going to go and I'm going to do this and I want to do this for a living instead of my job. And I'm just like, good effing luck. It's like, I love you. I care for you. I want to see you win. But I'm telling you, if you're especially like people that are brand new that have never done network marketing or they've struggled and failed and have never made more than a few $100s at this, I'm like, you're not going to do this full time. You're like, I love you. I want you to win, but you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen because you just haven't you haven't failed enough, if that makes any
That's it.
sense. Like
Yeah.
you have not failed enough. And what's happened to me over the years is I've had to three times, three times. I have been full time at my job, then went full time network marketing, then had to go back to a job, still did the network marketing thing, went full time again, had to go back to a job, then went full time again. And, fortunately, I've been here for 5 years now doing this full time.
By the
Um,
way, 5 years full time. Has it been easy the whole time?
oh, F no, no,
I bet,
no,
man.
no. And you remember how you said in the beginning, you're like, oh, I have a story. Like, here's my story. And we talked about this on another podcast where you're going to have to start over. The same thing happened to me at the end of 2023. I had a business, thousands and thousands of team members, was making about 25 to 30 grand a month. And it was the end of 2023, heading into 2024. And like that, the company that I was with crashed, meaning all their servers that housed all of their information, poof, it went away because the server crashed and they did not have a backup. So all the data, all the financial data, the credit card data, all of people's personal information that was saved, all those memberships, the people that were paying that passive income every single month, gone in a nanosecond. And my entire team was gone. And we literally had to start from scratch. And you want to talk about a stressful time in your life. You want to talk about holy effing bleepity blank, like what just happened? Where am I going? What am I doing? That was not easy. And I had to build everything from scratch all over again. And here we are today. But I could have easily said, hey, let me go back to work and let me go get some financial security. But fortunately, we were in enough of a financial position to carry us over till things built back up. But again, my advice to you would be to not do what I did. Like, I have the experience. I've done it before. I've done this several times. But
When you were talking about the guy who was just gotten started, it's almost like you're looking at the gleam in his eye and looking how happy he is, and go, you ain't been through enough. Like
yeah,
you ain't got beat down enough.
you
Like
don't
you
have
ain't
enough
got those
scars.
wrinkles, right? You have these battle scars. You what? Good luck.
Yeah. And that's what it is like. And this is not by any means a brag or a flex. But you gotta have some battle scars. You gotta have some stories. You like it's kind of a rite of passage almost where you have to fail enough and rebuild enough times that you've seen some things, you've experienced some things, you've been through those hardships to almost make you tough enough and strong enough to figure this whole thing out. Because when you're shiny and new and you think everything's going to be right as rain and skittles and rainbows, that's when life comes along and smacks you on the back of the head and says, "Wake up, dummy. You made
But I
some
also,
bad choices."
but on top of that, I do believe, and this is a weird semi-religious conversation. I believe the universe it tests all of us to
Oh,
see what our metal is going to be. It
hmm,
literally tests us and goes, okay, let's see how you're going to handle it. And going through, when I quit for network marketing the first time, I left a six-figure job, replaced by a six-figure business. I was rocking and rolling in. They gave me a car bonus. They gave me I was on the cover of a magazine. I was rocking. Life was just unreal. Talking on stages at conventions, winning cruises. Guys, 2 months, 2 months after I walked away from my six-figure job, the company shut down. The company went from on fire to
hmm.
shut down in one day with no warning, no heads up. I didn't know it was coming, didn't see the writing on the wall, gone. And When you lose two six-figure incomes, what?
Yeah.
That pain started a downward spiral for me, my family. Like life just got tough, but I stayed in. Here's the thing, and then on top of that, once you get to a point where you've tasted real residual income and you get to a point where you've experienced leverage, you ain't quitting.
Oh.
You ain't giving it up. It's in you.
Hmm.
It's a disease. It is a real disease.
Oh, it's an
And
addiction for sure.
when you get this magic money, I'm serious. Every single when whatever your company's payday is or whatever it is, and you get money that you didn't work for anymore, it's a weird feeling. It's a weird life altering feeling that money just comes without the blood, sweat, and tears and the effort and the digging of ditches and and being in the office and you get that once you get a taste of that for real, like you get to thousands of dollars a month. I don't care if your company shuts down. I don't care if you get kicked out. I don't care what it is. You ain't quitting. You
Yeah.
ain't.
You'll do it again.
You'll do it again, and you
Yep.
will go chase that money because it's real, and
Yep.
you'll run through. I love the thing. It says, to get residual income, you'll run through a brick wall, and you guys understand it ain't going to be easy, but my gosh, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, similar situations. Like I remember just a couple of quick situations and stories here. I remember my first big 5 figure per month check. It was like just over $15,000, like $15,100, whatever it was. I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but I remember back at that time, I remember where I was sitting. I remember I was sitting in my kitchen. I was looking outside. I said, I know it's payday. And I did you've probably seen people film these on like VSLs and, hype videos and whatever. But I opened up my laptop, I logged in, and I saw it, and I was like, and I'm like, my wife was standing right over here in the kitchen. And I'm like, babe, look at this. And I remember that feeling. And I remember the thought, the feeling that like, I'm never going to do anything but this. Like, what an amazing feeling. Like, oh my gosh. And then it was probably 5, 6 months later, the CEO decided to change the comp plan of the company. And instead of a $50 membership, he decided it would be a good idea to go down to a $10 membership. And my income more than got cut in half. Same amount of people. And I was getting paid about a third. And I'm just like, ugh. And again, had to rebuild. So you never know. You never
And
know.
it's never
You
in
gotta
our
have things
control.
in place.
It's not our control. It's
No.
not. And it's like you just go do the thing you're supposed to do and you keep doing what you're supposed to do and the universe provides. The universe wants to see if you're going to do it.
Universe is gonna test you for sure. And then, whatever the that exact phrase is, whether it's religion or the universe, whatever it is, but you're never given more than you can't handle, right? Or I say, God doesn't give you more than you can't handle, or the universe doesn't give you more than you can't handle. You might think, based on the situation, that there's no way I'm going to get through this, but guess what? Somehow we all just, one way or another, we all figure it
We
out.
do, man. Isn't it weird that we've all come through it, but
Yeah.
when you're going through it, you can't ever see it. There's no way you can see what is happening when you're in that fire, when you're in that pain and in that frustration. But wildly, 2 months later, you can look back and go, holy crap, I needed to come through that.
Hmm.
5 years from now, you'll know why you came through that.
Yeah.
It is, it's weird. So I know that went off a real big tangent there. That's a good one.
But yeah, it's all, in my opinion, it's all important stuff for you guys to just kind of see and hear and realize, like, you got to put some thought into this. If you're thinking about, the whole theme of today's video is when to jump, when to go full time. Just put some thought into it. Don't make this a gut reaction and just be like, oh, that's it, I'm doing it. Like, you can, and you're going to have a whole lot of life lessons a short time after that,
Even
for
when you do,
sure.
you're still gonna have some. You're still gonna have some. You might, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're going to learn a lot, but if you can take any nuggets or pieces of advice from today and the things that we talked about, that we did not give you financial advice because we're not CPAs, we're not tax professionals or any type of professional, really. We're just a couple of guys talking about some cool stuff here, but please, like, just think
Two
about some
dudes
of the things
talking.
we said here.
Just two dudes talking.
Just that's it. We're just two dudes shooting the breeze, hanging out, and enjoying the Monday morning like we always do.
By the way, it's a
uh,
beautiful day outside, man. Beautiful day.
oh, it's gonna be, yeah. Well, it's gonna be beautifully like 92 and hot today, but yeah, still, I'd take this over cold any day. Um, I think we're good. Curry, you got anything else or?
Nope, I think we've covered a lot today. I can't
Yeah.
wait to talk about some new stuff next week. I got some ideas. We talked
Oh
about it
yeah,
before the show. We're going to have a good time next week. So,
I already
yes, stay
already wrote it
tuned.
down.
Yep, stay tuned. We're going to have, we had fun today. We had fun on episode 11 and 10 and 9, and we've been having a good time. So, going into the Baker's Dozen next week should be a blast.
Yes, I can't believe it, man. It's crazy, and pretty soon it'll be 20, and then 50, and then a hundo, and
By
man,
the
it's crazy.
way, by the way, I got to figure out. We'll talk after this. I got to talk to you after this. So when we stop the recording,
All right. Well, hey, recording's over. If you made it here, guys, appreciate you. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, get notified anytime we release two dudes stuff. And we appreciate you being here. What are your thoughts on going full time? Leave us a comment down below. Don't be shy. Type with your little digits in there and let us know what you thought. Let us know what you think about two dudes talking. Is there something, a topic that you guys want us to talk about? Because we enjoy talking, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. So that is it, my friends. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.